Have you ever wondered if your habits might be holding you back from reaching your full potential? If so, you're not alone. Many of us grapple with habits that seem to keep us in a perpetual state of stagnation. But what if I told you that the wisdom of an ancient Greek philosophy could be your compass in navigating this maze of self-improvement? Enter Stoicism, a philosophy that has stood the test of time and is more relevant today than ever before. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, to embrace challenges and to cultivate inner virtues. In this journey, we'll uncover 8 habits that are likely weakening us: procrastination, negative self-talk, avoiding challenges, excessive materialism, relying on others' approval, inability to cope with negative emotions, dwelling on past mistakes, and ignoring the well-being of others. Join me as we delve into these habits and uncover how Stoicism can help us overcome them. Procrastination, the thief of time, is our first habit. It's that invisible barrier, the sly trickster that lures us into the comforting but deceptive trap of later. But later often turns into never, and the cycle repeats, leaving us stranded in the labyrinth of unfulfilled ambitions. As the famous Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "While we delay, life speeds by." This poignant quote is a stark reminder of the transient nature of time. It teaches us that every moment we waste in procrastination is a moment of life that we irretrievably lose. This is where Stoicism steps in with a powerful antidote. Stoicism encourages us to seize the day, to focus on the present moment. It reminds that the future is uncertain, but the present is all we truly have. Rather than being overwhelmed by the enormity of our goals and delaying action, Stoicism guides us to break tasks down into manageable parts. As suggested by Seneca's wisdom, by overcoming procrastination and focusing on what can be done right now, we can chip away at our goals one step at a time. So stop feeding the time thief. Remember, time waits for no one. Embrace the present and take action. Next up, the habit of negative self-talk. This pesky habit has a way of creeping into our minds, whispering doubts and fears, and undermining our confidence. It's like a constant rain cloud, casting a shadow over our potential and well-being. But don't despair. Stoicism offers a powerful antidote. Marcus Aurelius, one of the notable Stoic philosophers, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This quote beautifully encapsulates Stoicism's approach to negative self-talk. The idea is that it's not the events or in life that distress us, but rather our thoughts about them. Stoicism encourages us to replace this negative chatter with rational and compassionate thoughts. It urges us to question the validity of our self-criticisms and to be kind to ourselves. Stoicism reminds us that our thoughts are not always facts and that we have the ability to choose our reactions. Instead of allowing negative self-talk to drain our energy, we can use rational thinking to challenge these thoughts. By adopting Marcus Aurelius's perspective, we can become our own best supporters, fostering inner strength and resilience. Remember, it's often not the situation itself, but our perception of it that causes distress. A kind word to oneself, in line with Aurelius's wisdom, can make a world of difference. Be your own cheerleader. Let's tackle the habit of avoiding challenges. You see, life is a lot of gym. To get stronger, we need to lift heavier weights, to push ourselves beyond our comfort zone. Similarly, challenges in life are our weights. They might feel heavy, they might sweat, but they are essential for our growth. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, has a unique perspective on this. It doesn't see challenges as obstacles, but as opportunities. Opportunities to practice virtues like patience, resilience, and courage. To a Stoic, every difficulty is to become a better version of themselves. The famous Stoic philosopher Seneca once, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Seneca's quote beautifully encapsulates the essence of the Stoic approach to challenges. It shows us that just as physical labor strengthens our body, overcoming difficulties and challenges strengthens our mind, our character, and our spirit. Think about it. When we avoid challenges, we are essentially avoiding growth. We are choosing to remain stagnant. to stay in our comfort zones, but real growth, real progress, happens outside of that comfort zone. So the next time you are challenged, remember this Stoic wisdom. Don't shy away, embrace it. Remember Seneca's words, understand that the difficulties you face merely exercises for the mind. Challenges are the stepping stones to growth. Embrace them with courage. Moving on to the habit of excessive materialism. In today's consumer-driven society, it's easy to fall into the trap of materialism, believing that happiness and fulfillment lie in accumulating possessions. But is the latest gadget, the flashiest car, or the biggest house the key to contentment? Stoicism suggests otherwise. Quoting the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This quote emphasizes the Stoic view that true wealth is not determined by the quantity of our possessions, but by the quality of our contentment and desires. The Stoics viewed material wealth indifferent, neither good nor bad. What matters is how we use it and relate to it. They taught that the pursuit of virtue, such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, is more fulfilling than the endless chase for material possessions. It's about focusing on our inner values and character. We strive to be content with what we have, not constantly longing for what we don't. This doesn't mean we should reject material wealth entirely, but rather, we should not let it dictate our happiness or self-worth. Remember, true fulfillment lies within, not in material possessions. And as Epictetus suggests, our desires and being content with fewer wants can help us overcome excessive materialism. Next, we delve into the habit of excessive reliance on others' approval. This is a quiet bandit, surreptitiously pilfering our individual worth and self-reliance. As Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher, so wisely stated, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This quote underlines the importance of focusing on our own personal growth, rather than desperately seeking approval from others. We allow our happiness and self-esteem to be dictated by others' judgments. We're essentially surrendering control of our lives. In a metaphorical sense, we transform ourselves into puppets, dancing to the rhythms of other people's whims, simultaneously surrendering our authenticity and self-confidence. In sharp contrast, Stoicism teaches us to seek satisfaction within ourselves. It advocates the cultivation of our virtues rather than the pursuit of external validation. It's crucial to remember that your worth is not defined by the number of likes or shares on social media platforms, nor by the praise or criticism of others. Rather, it is defined by your actions, your values, and your resilience. Stoic philosophy urges us to become our own biggest fans, to seek approval from within rather than from without. It enlightens us to judge our actions based on our own measure of virtue and integrity. Epictetus's quote serves as a tool to help us overcome the habit of seeking approval from others by emphasizing the importance of self-growth and internal validation. You are enough. Seek approval from yourself, not others. Let's dive into the habit of succumbing to negative emotions. Often, we find ourselves in the grasp of negative feelings like anger, sadness, or fear. Now, these emotions, while uncomfortable, are a natural part of life. However, the problem arises when we let these emotions dictate our actions or cloud our judgment. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers a unique perspective on handling such emotions. Consider the words of the prominent Stoic philosopher Seneca, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This quote beautifully encapsulates the Stoic approach towards handling negative emotions. Seneca reminds us that often our distress comes from the anticipation or perception of adversity rather than the actual event. Stoicism doesn't suggest suppressing or ignoring these emotions. Instead, it advocates rational handling of emotions through mindfulness and self-reflection. It encourages us to take a step back, observe our emotions without judgment, understand their source, and then respond in a calm and sensible manner. By acknowledging the role of our imagination in our suffering, as Seneca suggests, we can better differentiate between perceived and real adversity. This practice of mindful reflection allows us to gain control over our emotions rather than being controlled by them. It promotes emotional resilience, fostering a sense of inner peace and stability, even in the face of adversity. Remember, emotions are fleeting. Observe them, understand them, guided by the wisdom of the Stoics, but never let them control you. Next, we address the habit of dwelling on past mistakes. This habit can create a cycle of regret, guilt, and self-doubt, a cycle that can be hard to break. It's like driving a car while constantly looking in the rearview mirror. Not very effective, is it? Now, Stoicism offers a unique perspective on this. Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "Don't let the mistakes and disappointments of the past control and direct your future." This quote is an embodiment of the Stoic philosophy about dwelling on past mistakes. Stoics believe in using past mistakes as stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. They teach us to view our errors as lessons, not life sentences. It's about understanding that the past cannot be changed, but perception of it can. Epictetus encourages us to take control of our future and not let our past mistakes and disappointments dominate us. Imagine if, instead of ruminating over past missteps, we use them as fuel for growth, as catalysts for inner transformation. This is the essence of Stoicism. It encourages us to embrace our mistakes, learn from them, and then, crucially, to move forward, focusing energy on the present moment. The past is a place of reference, residence. Learn, let go, and live in the present. Finally, the habit of ignoring the well-being of others. This habit, seemingly innocuous, can truly hamper our growth. Stoicism, with its profound wisdom, reminds us of the principle of cosmopolitanism. It's a beautiful concept that encourages us to view ourselves as of the world, interconnected and interdependent. In the words of the great Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, "What injures the hive, injures the bee." This profound quote is a stark reminder of how our well-being is intricately tied to the welfare of others. When we ignore the of others, it's akin to harming the hive we're all part of. It's not just detrimental to them, but also to ourselves. This worldview compels us to empathize with others and be genuinely concerned for their welfare. Ignoring the well-being others erodes our moral fiber, isolates us, and prevents us from experiencing the joy of shared humanity. Stoicism teaches that our actions and attitudes should contribute to the welfare of others. It's about fostering a sense of community, enriching our own lives while uplifting others. It's about understanding that we are part of a larger whole. We are all part of the universe. Let's embrace empathy and care for each other. We've journeyed through these 8 habits and how Stoicism can help us overcome them. Now it's time to embrace Stoicism in our lives. It's about cultivating patience, a virtue that allows us to weather life's inevitable storms with grace. It's about exercising resilience, the power to bounce back from setbacks and learn from our mistakes. And it's about valuing virtue above all else, understanding that our character is our most precious asset. Stoicism invites us to live in the present, to seize the day, and make the most of the opportunities before us. It teaches us to be self-reliant, finding contentment within ourselves rather than seeking approval from others. It encourages us to handle our emotions rationally, to manage our self-talk positively, and to care for others' well-being. Stoicism offers a path to a purposeful and tranquil existence. Embrace it and transform your life. I hope this exploration of Stoicism has given you food for thought. Perhaps you've recognized some habits you'd like to change, or maybe you're intrigued by the Stoic way of life. If this resonates with you, don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit. For more insights on Stoicism and personal growth, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, you have the power to change your life.